Alright, guys, now I'm back once again, and as I told you from the last vid, I gave you a little clue of, it was a female I'm talking about. And as you can see, we move on to the DC universe, and another character I have a lot of respect for and just adore, even before she really blew up. And that's Miss Mari Jiwe McCabe, aka Vixen. I love Vixen. I've always loved her since the first time I saw her in the first time I got a good version of, I say, Vixen to me was when she was with the Suicide Squad, if I'm not mistaken. That's when I really got a notion of her, before she went to the Justice League. And I liked her. I thought she was cool, so after that I did research and went back further to get her origin and things like that. And another character that basically has the power of the animal kingdom to back her up. The magic totem that she carries, tandem totem that she pretty much augments or mimics, animal abilities. So she can have the strength of a bear or the speed of a cheetah, or she could, when she's running at you, let's say she tackles you, and it'll be like she mimics a elephant, and she tackles you. You're like, or she sits on you. It's pretty much like an elephant sitting on you. She augments that whatever she wants. She can fly like a bird if she wanted to, and that was something I've always loved. I've always liked things like that, because we all have that kind of feel that we would want something like that. We could have, like, I'll just say, night vision, like any kind of nocturnal creature or things like that. She can make that happen. Mari was born in Africa, so yeah, she's a native African. She possessed the magical tandem totem. It was created by Anansi, the spider god, which pretty much. However, during that time in Africa, Mari's mother was killed by poachers, and her father was killed by McCabe. McCabe was her uncle, and he pretty much steals the totem and Mari at a young age, and they go to New York, where she pretty much, then that's where she got into her modeling career and things like that. She would later return back to Africa, and that's where she would get her totem, and from another one of her uncles, and that's where she takes on the name. She takes on the name Vixen from there. Her time at the Suicide Squad was pretty cool, because she really got close with Bronze Tiger. Her and Bronze Tiger got really close. They really started to, have like a, almost like they really had a big connection go on after that. So that was cool. And that was pretty much after the Suicide Squad broke up. We didn't see Vixen for a while until they did the whole, remember the whole 1 year later story arc. You know, uh, she pops back up, and we see her fighting Solomon Grundy. And we also started to see something was going on with the totem with Mari, and after she rejoined the Justice League. And this Justice League was more of, you remember the Justice League: Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Black Canary, Red Arrow, people like that. Green Lantern. That's where we started to figure out that something was wrong with Mari. She wasn't able to, during that time, she wasn't able to mimic animals anymore. She really started to mimic her teammates' abilities. Like, now, in a way, we're humans, we're mammals too, but she was ciphering off her teammates' superpowers or things like that. And if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly, it was Superman who found out first, and he confronted her, like, basically confronted her and told her, Mari, I want to help you. What's going on? Why are you, and that's where she told her, she was doing a lot of things. It was crazy because, like, when they had the whole Lightning saga where Justice League and JSA teamed up, she was racing Jay Garrett, Flash, and she was keeping up with him, no problem. And we would figure, oh, she just mimicked a cheetah, but if you all know, cheetahs can only keep their top speed up for a certain amount of time before, so we started to see, like, yeah, that's where Superman started to see that something was wrong. So when they finally she confronts Black Canary, because at the time Black Canary was the chairwoman of the Justice League at that time, and I think she actually kicked Vixen off the team for a while, but Superman stood up for her, but Black Canary still takes her off active duty, and Canary recommends that she get in touch with Zatanna for help. And pretty much there, Zatanna started to seek out the reasons why, what was changing, why Mari's powers was acting weird. And she also gets the help of Animal Man as well. And Zatanna finds out, she finally sees that both Animal Man and Mari were like puppets by Anansi, the spider god. He was messing with her powers because the totem was his and the Serp. Unfortunately, after the Justice League defeated and faced Anansi, pretty much, she was back to normal. Her powers went back to normal. Um, Things happened after that, like even before Final Crisis. Like Batman, at one point when she had her limited series, uh, Batman received information about the murder of Mari's mother, and this is pretty much what they call the return of the lion. And it was cool. It was interesting. But it didn't last too long. During the after Final Crisis was over, Mari left the Justice League. She left the Justice League, but also she went back to I think if I remember correctly, she formed a Justice League in Africa, like a form of a Justice League in Africa. So it was kind of interesting to see that. But now it's good to see that she's still going to be around during the whole, relaunch. Don't call it a reboot. She's going to be with the Justice League International, and her costume is more, I guess you say, PG now. A lot of things are covered up. You don't really see too much cleavage as before. I could care less. I don't. But it's good to see that she's still going to be around. As for other medias outside of comics, of course, she got really big. Of course, Justice League Unlimited. I think that's where people really, really started to fall for Vixen. She was voiced by Gina Torres, and Gina Torres did a great job with Vixen. And in the series, she had a relationship with John Stewart, Green Lantern. And then, of course, there was that love triangle between her, Shayera, and John Stewart, which was cool. I didn't mind that. Vixen had a lot of spotlights in that show. She really did. A lot of spotlights. There were times, the way they did her in that show was just beautifully. You saw that Bruce Timm had a lot of respect for her character. Very much. But the funniest thing was that he never told Vixen about the future of, him and Shayera have a kid together. He never told her that. I guess, but yeah, she was really good in that show. I loved how they showed when she would use one of the animals. You would see that, like an after image of the animal, and it would go into the totem, and she would pretty much be that. At one point, I remember the time where they had when Roulette had kidnapped all the females of the Justice League, and she had them fighting in like an underground fight tournament. She was fighting Wonder Woman at one point, and you saw her back kick like a mule. So it was really cool. And of course, she made some appearances in Batman: Brave and the Bold, and she was voiced by Cree Summers in that. But Vixen is a cool character nonetheless. Very, very cool character. Glad to see DC is not going to forget her. And That's all I can say about Vixen. I'm sorry I ranted a lot about Vixen, guys, but I have a lot of respect for Mari. Would I want to see her not animated in live action? Yes. We all want to see that, but only time will tell. And thanks for listening, guys. This is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love. Stay tuned, guys. You take care.